Invented in 1980 by toymaker Yongkoi Gonpai, it was Nintendo's answer to the handheld gaming market. Using cheap calculator LCD panels, the Game & Watch games were a quick, fun, and challenging way to spend your time commuting to work or playing at home. In 1986, my parents weren't willing to shell out the $179 to spend on a Nintendo Entertainment System, especially when we still had a perfectly fine Atari 2600. However, on occasion, they would pick up a few of these Game & Watches to satiate my thirst for the brand. Fast forward to 2021, finally reawakened by the retro gaming boom, and I find myself taking out small loans to collect these pieces of nostalgia. There was one Game & Watch that I thought may forever be out of my grasp, going for about $250 to $300 online. Zelda seemed like it would never reach my collection. By scrounging through a collection of unused peripherals and consoles, I took this Zelda Game & Watch out in trade at a local gaming store. We're going to take a look and see if this Game & Watch needs a little TLC. Okay, here is the Zelda Game & Watch multi-screen. It has a clear protective film on the cover, which I think I'm just going to keep on there. And then the back, no scratches, dents, or dings. The battery compartment shows no signs of corrosion, no rust. And then the battery cover itself is strong. Sometimes they get cracks, and it's an original battery cover. You can tell by the graphics there. And then when we open it up though, I hit game, you'll see that this LCD crystal is high contrast, which is what we're looking for. But on the bottom, you'll see that the characters are really hard to see. So what I learned is this is a polarizer issue. So one way I was able to test this was by using a polarizing filter from a camera kit that I have. It's a striking contrast difference to what was originally there. So the solution is to install a polarizing filter that will create better contrast. While you're in here, you might as well do some routine maintenance. The old isopropyl alcohol on the Q-tip trick. Okay, there's the polarizing filter. And if you see it in the light, you can see that it's more yellowed as opposed to this new one where it's hue and density to get those LCDs to pop. So we put the new polarizing filter here. Make sure this lines up. Okay, I'm gonna button it back up. Okay, now we're gonna put in the batteries, turn it on, and see if we notice a difference in contrast. Oh yeah, big difference. Let's face it, the only way I was going to obtain this Game & Watch was to do it in trade. That's why when Classic Game Junkie in Glensdale, Pennsylvania posted that they got it in stock, I knew I had to grab it. When I found out that the contrast on the bottom screen was not up to par, I was a little bummed, but was up to the challenge to figure it out. Thanks to the eBay store Alam98, who carries a variety of Game & Watch parts, fixing this was quick and easy. Now, I'm going to go step into a dungeon so that I can actually see what's next.